And we are live. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Full Velocity Network. Live tonight at the Iowa Speedway. Beautifully prepared 7/8 mile racetrack out in the middle of Iowa, and thrilled to have this great event with our friends at Hobo Racing on the air here tonight. 125 laps on the Iowa Speedway. Great to have you aboard here live on Facebook Live. Thank you for tuning in tonight. My name is Phil Lacasse, along with Blake McCandless alongside, and the Jet, Joe Allen, as always, for us here on FVN in the control booth. A big live dual stream tonight. Of course, our other crew out on the airwaves with the Dirt Show at Big Show Promotions, and the three of us over here hang out with our buddies at Hobo Racing in Iowa. Blake McCandless, a action-packed 30-car field for 125 laps on the Iowa Speedway. It is going to be an electric night here on Full Velocity.
It certainly is, Phil. We already have quite an electric night going already with David Schildhouse, Brody Hanna, and Todd Stanton bringing you all the dirt action from the Big Show Promotions, the season finale of the Liquid Nitro Beverages Weekly Racing Series. That's only going to get better tonight as we move on to the Iowa Speedway. An absolutely exciting and just jam-packed short track out here in the Midwest, and track I love coming to, not only to drive on but to spectate. And I'm just glad, we got a full field tonight. These guys come out here, open setups, a lot of competitive racing, so I'm sure we're going to be tuned into a great night tonight, Phil.
Absolutely right. We'll get down to the booth here and check in with our buddy Joe Allen in just a couple of minutes. But Blake, if these guys, if you can believe it, are already getting ready to go on the grid. We got a 30-car starting lineup. It's going to happen fast in Iowa. So what do you say we dive into the next starting lineup?
All right, we'll go ahead and do that. Starting on the pole is going to be the number 12 of Cal Laval. Starting to his outside in the second spot is going to be the 28th of Keith McLean. Behind him is going to be the number 99 machine. That's going to be Jacob Simpson. And starting behind him is going to be the number 77 of Kevin Roy. Move back to row number 3. The 73 of Herman Rice is going to start on the inside of the 11 of Steve Grant. Move it back a row to the 7th spot. We have the number 85 of Ricky Bumbalo, probably my favorite name here on the Full Velocity Network. Starting on the inside of the number 27 of Andre M. Move it back another row, we have Racer 555, or as he's known as to some other here at the Hobo Racing League, is Rich Napick, and then to the 10th spot is Maverick.
Rolling off from row number 6 here tonight on the inside will be the 51. That is Roger Depelsick. To his outside, the 87 is Everett Lintz. Row number 7, we find the 14 of Dion Hinsky. The 111, the 111 of Jeff Fugate rolls off 14th. 15th starter will be TMP Tom aboard number 7. Austin LaPlante will roll off the 48 from 16th. 17th starter, Danny Rubino in the number 44. Duke Sorensen to his outside. Row number 10, we find Ron Simpson and Steve Rubino, who'll roll off a 21 from 20th position.
All right, we'd love to give you the rest of it, but already the pace car is coming off of turn number 3. He's diving back down to the inside. We'll get you a full rundown of the field in just a moment. But right now, these 1988 style stock cars are ready to bring you 125 laps here at the Iowa Speedway as Chris Laval will come off of turn number 4. He's going to lead him to green. He's going to throw the throttle down. Green flag is out, and we are ready to go racing here at the Iowa Speedway.
Yeah, and we're open setups tonight, so keep that in mind. You may see some different plays here for these guys as far as the way these cars are going to handle. But right away out of the gate, pole sitter Cal Lovall goes off into turn number 1 and 2. Down the back, stretching into turn 3 for the first time. Keith McLean, the 28, Hill Dessa right there at the second spot. Here comes the 99 of Jacob Simpson, Blake. If you keep an eye on Hobo Racing at all, Jacob Simpson, a guy who has been a rocket ship here the last couple of months, he's to the inside, put the 99 now up to that second spot off of turn 2.
Yeah, that 99 Skull Ford Thunderbird machine is nice to see a little bit different manufacturers out here at the Iowa Speedway as we are running a little bit different cars here, these 1988 or Aero 88 style mod cars. It's certainly a sight to see and makes for some great short track racing. But right now, Simpson, he's already made easy working of Keith McLean. He's already looking to catch Lovell up there in the first spot. But right now, it looks like yellow flag is out on the speedway as we talk to lap 3. First yellow flag of the night.
And that's going to put our buddy, the Jet, Joe Allen, to work down to the Full Velocity Network control booth for the first time here. 125 laps here for Hobo Racing at the Iowa Speedway. It is going to be for a very fast night for us. Things are going to happen really quick. And Just like we say that the first caution flag of the night here. Joe, I saw something going on, saw some smoke go up around the entry of turn number 1. Show us what happened there, the first full velocity rewind of the evening.
Yes, sir, guys. First full velocity rewind. We're going to focus our attention on that number 48 machine of Austin LaPlante. Throw this thing in slow motion replay coming off of turn 3 here. Like you said, those open setups, some of these guys are going to have their cars set up just a little bit differently than others as Austin comes down on the front stretch here. Not sure what happened. He actually gets a little bit loose, but the caution flag looks like it's already out there as he goes spinning down through the front straightaway. So maybe something broke in that 48 machine as well. Not entirely sure what happened there, because as I see him come across the start-finish line, looks like there was already an accident that occurred before that. See if we can maybe speed this up down into turn 1 real quick, see if we see anything up here that may be worth looking at, but I'm not. Oh, here we go. The 710, guys. I believe that is Manny Diaz, if I remember properly. I could be wrong. I apologize if I am. I don't have the driver's sheet in front of me, but we'll back this up real quick. Looks like this is in turns 3 and 4, the 710, all by himself back there. Slow this thing down through the middle of the corner, and just looks like the rear end snaps out from underneath of him, and he ends up looping that thing around in the middle of turns 3 and 4 here. Not sure if he collects anyone. I see the 0 back there right behind him. It looks like the 710 ends up spinning right down off the racetrack. There's the 2. He comes back up right in front of traffic, in front of the 2 and the 17. Very unfortunate for those guys. Looks like the 8 squeaks by just a little bit without any damage there. So I think the 710 guy is probably going to come out with the worst of the damage here so far for caution number 1 here this evening. But a couple incidents all over the racetrack that we got to look at so far for our first full velocity rewind. Back up to you guys in the booth.
All right. Yeah, it's going to happen quick here in Iowa tonight. The guys at Hobo do an awesome job here as always. But said it's 30 cars in Iowa, Blake. I mean, it's a short racetrack, you know. It's a high-speed racetrack. I mean, Iowa can almost run like a super speedway. You get out there in these old-style Aero 88 cars, the way these bodies all work as far as, you know, the aerodynamics and whatnot. These things can absolutely get free on cold tires, and the old adage is if a caution breeds a caution. You're going to hope these guys can maybe get a little bit of a green flag run here, maybe get some heat into all these guys' setups, because I believe this racetrack is going to be ultra racy once we get all the heat into the tires.
Well, absolutely. And the other thing that I'm kind of thinking of, Phil, and just from watching these cars, they look like they go super fast over here. You have just a lot of grip out here, colder temperatures, and obviously we are under the lights. The racetrack is a lot cooler. You got a lot of grip out here at Iowa. It seems like these guys are flying around this speedway, but you know, that is something that is quite common here at the Iowa Speedways. Those tire tips go up. You know, you're going to have to look about conserving those tires. Really, all 3 lanes are in play here at the Iowa Speedway. Not a lot of banking here in either of these 3 corners, but you can see the high lane. It looks like most of these cars are favoring the middle lane early on, but definitely tire wear is gonna become a factor here as we get these lights going. And I believe the pace car lights just went off. That's going to put us under 1 to go as we approach lap 8 of 125.
Absolutely. This race coming in tonight, Blake, this is race number 4 of their Winter Aero 88 series here at Hobo Racing. They do every Tuesday night. And just looking at the quick point standings here real quick, Herman Reese comes in tonight with a 40-point advantage off the strength of 1 win, 3 top 5s, 3 top 10 finishes. Jacob Simpson, currently second in the standings, also has a race win on the season, 2 top 5s, 2 top 10 finishes. 40 markers is the distance there. Third place, you find Ron Simpson. He's 79 points, our current leader. Steve Rubino is 4th, and Rich Knappick, the number 6 machine, he rounds up a top 5 of the point standings. But we'll talk more about points as this evening goes on. Let's focus on the great short track race we got going on here. Pace truck going to pull its way onto pit road. The Full Velocity Network semi-rig going to turn the field back to Cal Lovell. Jacob Simpson, Keith McLean, Kevin Roy, Herman Reese, single file restarts over here at Hobo, Blake, and they are green, headed toward turn 1.
They are, and Lovell is getting a great launch into turn number 1. Again, something unique about Hobo Racing, not the double file restarts the most become accustomed to. They're running with the rules of the day back there in 1988, so they're going with single file restarts. But it looks like Jacob Simpson is just able to rotate through the center of the corner very, very well. He's pulled up to the back bumper of that UPS Ford.
Absolutely has. Jacob Simpson is there. Set a feature winner already on this young season for the Aero 88 series. He's going to pressure that UPS machine of Cal Lovell into turn number 3 and 4. Looks like Simpson going to use that inside of the racetrack. Lovell going to slide up high there. Third place car, Keith McLean, also down to the inside. That's a 3-car dance for the race lead down as they head toward turn 1.
And as we say that, a really unfortunate circumstance. It looks like the 14 car of DJ Hinksky, looks like that Mopar car decided to go up in flames here under the restart. Looks like that may be some irreparable damage, so tough luck there for the 14. That's definitely going to put him out of the going here early on within the first 10 laps. But it looks like McLean and Simpson have decided to take off. Simpson has taken the lead, and he has his sights set on trying to make that gap between him and the 28 McLean as big as possible.
Yeah, Keith McLean, another guy who's really been on a tear over here recently at Hobo. Really good in the Hobo Racing Modified Series. He's picked up many wins there. 28 gets really loose off of turn 4. He'll slide to the inside. Cal Lobo will make the move by on the outside. Put the 28 back to third. Kevin Roy, he is right there in that Pepsi-colored Chevrolet riding in that 4th spot. He looks to move to the inside. He can't make nothing happen there. Keith McLean there, Blake, off these just early on at this restart. A little bit loose off of turn 4. I know we've also made 100 laps around Iowa Speedway before. You get on the throttle too quick here at this short track, especially in that low side of these exit of these corners. You get that race car upset really easily, and Keith did right there. That was a hell of a save by him.
Oh, it was. You got to imagine these guys have to be loose to be fast, and it's just so easy to get in the throttle too early on these flat banked corners. Not a lot of banking here at the Iowa Speedway. It can be easy to loop the car around. Keith McLean, you got to imagine if he's a little bit loose on cold tires, hopefully that'll start to fix itself out as they start to put heat in these tires. We're on lap number 14 now. It looks like it is the car's starting to come back under him. But how about Jacob Simpson? He's just pulling away. He's got about half the back straightaway of a lead over Lovell right now.
Yeah, he absolutely does. And I'm just kind of floating on back to the field, trying to find maybe some good races, maybe a good side-by-side battle going on. But throughout the top 20, Blake, I'm just seeing everybody kind of glued fixture to the low side of the racetrack. That's allowed Jacob Simpson up front to just kind of pull away from this field, maybe extend that lead out a little bit. Call that, look at that lead there. Call that an even 10 to 15 car lengths as they hit turn number 3. Cal Lovell now has made his way back around the 28 of McLean. Those guys having a good race there for that second spot. Put Cal up to second. Keith McLean, the 28, back to third. Then it's all the way back about 10 car lengths till you find the 77 of Kevin Roy. And he has about a 2-car length advantage over Herman Reese, our point leader, that number 73. So single file inside the top 5. Well, look at that lead Jacob Simpson's got, Blake. It's almost a full second and a half here. We've only got 16 laps on the board. Talk about that run that 99 is having.
Well, I can tell you the one thing that's really telling is just look at the lap charts here as they continue to roll in. He's running 23.6s, 23.7s. A lot of this field running 23.8s up here at the front. So that just tells you very early on the number 99 Skull Ford is very fast here, at least on the early part of the run. Obviously, we'll have to see how it shakes out as these laps continue to widen down. We're on lap 18 of 125 right now. But we'll see if perhaps maybe this Skull Ford is built for the short run, or if he's able to maintain this kind of speed on the long run as well.
Yeah, and I'm loving the look of the old Skull there. That's the old scheme that, Phil Parsons ran back one day. Also, Rick Bass for years made that number 1 scheme really famous out for Richard Jackson Motorsports. And cool to see these Aero 88 cars come to life once again here tonight. Probably one of my favorite mods that the NR 203 community still has alive and well. It's been around for a long time. It looks great. It drives great. It makes some really good pictures here. Really allows us to take a trip down memory lane for some of us up here in the booth that were around watching the great NASCAR action back in 1988. Can't say the same here for my broadcast colleagues here tonight, but we'll let them off the hook. Good racing going on there, Blake. Looking back around for that 4th spot, Kevin Roy, the 77, is there, but Herman Reese, the 73, he started to apply a little bit of pressure there. Herbert looking to the inside now off of turn 2.
Yeah, Herbert will try to peek down to the inside there. Herman, my bad, not Herbert. Get a little bit of errors here on the Full Velocity Network, but it looks like that 73 Cadillac trying to make some ground up there on that Pepsi machine. Again, another beautiful scheme right there, the kind of the petty blue and the old school Pepsi format going, but it looks like that 73 Cadillac trying to do all he can. We've seen Herman Reese be very dominant here on the Full Velocity Network, running up front a lot. I remember a race at the Texas Motor Speedway, so I would not be surprised for Herman to see if he has a long run machine and try to make it by some of these guys here running up in the top.
And I'm staggered by the way this top 5 has pulled away from the rest of the field. Those guys all have pulled out 3 seconds. You're going to look all the way back to that 6th position to find the 11 of Steve Grant. Maverick, the number 23. That's Chris Rodgers out there. He's currently in that 7th spot with 23. Andre Monjone having a good run. Our friend from Canada, he is currently 8th. Look at the number 111 of Jeff Fugate. He's making his way through the field. He's got his machine up to 9th and running at your top 10. That is TMP Tom. Tom M up there in the 10th spot. But Blake, we have a race for the lead shaping up now. Jacob Simpson had a really good lead, but Keith McLean, the 28, he just ran him down. We had a good battle going on up there now for the top spot.
We certainly do. Like I was saying last time, that Skull machine may be built for the short run, and I think that's what he's showing right now. Keith McLean, that 28, definitely sliding a little bit in the corners, but you got to be loose to be fast. He's pulling right up to the back end of that Skull machine. It looks like he's going to try to dive it down low into turn number 3. McLean diving it down to the bottom. Simpson's going to give way on the top side. They're neck and neck as they exit off at turn number 4. Simpson's going to have it at the line, but I can't imagine that 28 is not going to get the lead there, as it looks like Simpson going to give him the spot. Oh, a little contact is made as McLean slides up into the 99, but they are both okay. McLean is moving up to the lead, but now caution flag is out on the speedway for a wreck further back in the field. So how about Keith McLean able to take the lead, and then the caution flag is out here again at Iowa Speedway, lap 25 of 125. And I believe if we look down low, we can see the damaged machine of the number 59 of Sorensen down there, the Flagro Chevrolet. I'm sure Joe Allen will be ready in just a second to show you what happened there. But how about the racing and the different setups we were looking at there, Phil? It's definitely something to watch there. But, Joe, I believe you're actually ready to show us what happened there on the exit of turn number 4.
Yes, sir, guys. We're going to go ahead, focus our attention on that number 59 machine of Duke Sorensen, that navy blue car at the top of our screen right here. Throw this thing in slow motion replay through the middle as it turns 1 and 2. It looks like he's on the outside. Maybe comes down the track just a little bit. Contact is made with the number 25 machine of Ron Simpson. That spins the 59 up into the outside retaining wall, into that safer barrier. Something that, we're going back in time. Safer barriers weren't around in the 80s, so a little bit of a different scenario, getting old school mixed in with new school, but tough break for Duke Sorensen and the 59 guys. Unfortunately, it looks like it's just him and the 25 of Ron Simpson that are involved in that accident together. Not seeing any other cars, so that's beneficial for the rest of the guys out there. Tough break for Duke, though. He's going to get that thing spun back around, and he'll take it down pit road, throw 4 fresh Goodyear tires back on it, and get that car back out there, hopefully with a little bit of damage repaired, and hopefully still have some sort of contention out there to go up there and race for some positions. Back up to you guys in the booth.
All right. Well, Joe, I'm not going to let you off the hook quite yet. Great job with that replay, brother. But I have to ask, I mean, you talk about the flavor of the old school, the new school. Do you have any recollection whatsoever of what racing out there in NASCAR was like back in 1988? I mean, it was a time to behold, but I'm not sure you have any memory of that whatsoever.
No, unfortunately, I do not. I was born in 1994. I believe Blake was born in 1995. So racing in the 80s was before our time, before I was probably even a thought to my parents. The only thing I have any recollection of regarding it is, any of the highlights that you sometimes see on, previously Speed Channel or, what is now Fox Sports 1. If you ever get the chance to watch some highlights that they do there, they have shown some of the stuff from back then. Some autobiographies about Dale Earnhardt and Richard Petty will show some clips. So as far as my knowledge base goes with racing in the 80s, that's probably to the extent of it, because I was not around in the 80s, unfortunately, to be able to witness it firsthand and be at the racetracks or even watch it on TV during that time.
Well, Joe, there is one thing I would like to say. I look you trying to get little jabs in there calling me old. I was not born in 1995. I was born in 1996. So trying to get a little bit of play on my age there, but I'm not going to let you do it here live on the air. But Joe, I got to say I'm kind of the same way. The earliest racing memories I have are really of kind of the early 2000s, 2001, 2002. It was really about the time I start kind of remembering racing there at that age. So definitely not as familiar with 1998 style of racing like these guys are putting on here. But obviously we know it's not a bad style. It's what filled up the grandstands. It's what made the Cup Series back in the day so desirable to watch, and got to see the likes of Dale Earnhardt, Bill Elliott, Darrell Waltrip, just all these guys that really, kind of revolutionized stock car racing as we know it today. Definitely get to see it on YouTube or in replays of some of the old things they like to show on TV, but definitely would have been something to be living during that time, that's for sure. And I guess Phil was the only one here lucky enough to see that.
God-forsaken Phil, being the senior citizen of the Full Velocity Network here. I hang my head in shame and say I graduated in the class of 1997 from my old Killingly High School up here in Northeast Connecticut, and just can't believe I'm graduating high school. My broadcast partners, just barely getting into potty training stages. But we love the kid up here in the Full Velocity Network. If you have any thoughts about the race or just the combined age of these guys, probably equaling all of my wisdom up here, light us up here in that chat on Facebook Live. We are so thrilled to have you aboard here. Hobo Racing at the Iowa Speedway, 125 laps. We are back now to Green Flag Racing. The 28 of Keith McLean brings the field to the restart. The 99 of Jacob Simpson, Cal Lovell in the 12. Herman Reese, the 73, and the 11 of Steve Grant. That's going to be your top 5, all single file off the east end of the racetrack. Blake headed toward turn 3.
Well, I think the one thing we got to be interested in is what kind of adjustments that Skoll Ford made. Jacob Simpson, of course, he was really fast early on in that run, but you saw very quickly that car did not respond the way he wanted it to on the long run. You got to imagine what kind of adjustments he made on pit road. Again, these guys run open setups, so you can go down pit road, adjust the track bar, adjust your tire pressure, wedge, all these different things. So kind of interested to see what these guys do. But how about Keith McLean there? Despite how strong the 99 has been on the short run, he's able to maintain the lead here as we approach lap 32.
Now, not being an open setup guru by no means, just really recently kind of diving into the old strategy of open setups. For those who may not be familiar too much of it, Blake, what kind of adjustments do you think these guys can make under, these guys obviously did not come down pit road and take tires, but, what kind of adjustments could a guy like Jacob Simpson make to maybe adjust that car to be better on a long run?
Well, actually, I may have to refer that to my good buddy Joe Allen. I'm not as much of a setup guru myself. I know obviously he can taking off some wedge will definitely make it a little bit looser, a little bit more of a freer handling car. But as far as tire pressures, track bars, sway bars, probably not the most educated person to guess there, and I definitely don't want to get it wrong here on the Full Velocity Waves. But it looks like, despite any of that, it looks like the two cars that are going to be running up front here throughout this event are going to be Keith McLean and Jacob Simpson. They're starting to pull away there from Cal Lovell in the 3rd position. But how about Herman Reese? He's also worked his way up to the 4th spot, and even a guy that maybe we haven't mentioned as much here, Steve Grant, also in 5th.
Yeah, Steve Grant in the 11 having a terrific run out of the gate in his Chevrolet as well, and that's a cool-looking race car. If you could throw that thing up on the screen show, that thing looks really cool. He's going to pull the back bumper of the 73 of Herman Reese, but a touch more on, our point leader, Herman, there. He's got that, that Cadillac out there riding around as he always does. Herman, a guy, I believe, Blake, is going to set his car up for a long run. I believe he's going to let these old pups that go out there burn off their stuff, and I think before too long, the 73 of Keith McLean may find his way up to the front of this field, and I think he may contend for a race win early or a little later on in this going. But working lap number 36 on the speedway, the field working its way down through turns number 3 and 4. Our race leader is a 28 of Keith McLean. Jacob Simpson second of the 99. Cal Lovell is 3rd. Herman Reese is 4th. Steve Grant rounds out your top 5. 6 to 10. We find Kevin Roy, Andre Marjon. Maverick is running 8th. Jeff Fugate is 9th. Roger Nebelsick, he's worked his way to the top 10. I know he was ready to throw the mute button on me this afternoon, but our buddy Roger's up there in the top 10. 11th is TMP Tom M. Everett Lentz is 12th. Danny Rubino 13th. Ron Simpson is 14th. Austin LaPlante, he's currently 15th in car number 48. 16th, we find the 85 of Ricky Bumbalo. Steve Rubino is 17th. Rich Knappick is 18th. Rob Keller 19th. And old pushrod Bob Becker out there in the number 17. He is currently running at your top 20. 21st, the 8th car of Rob Heath. Ryan Johnson, he's marked deep in the field all the way back there in 22nd. Rich Fenkel, the number 2, he is 23rd. Brandon Spadafora, he is 24th at number 37. The dog, John Palmer, good to see the dog out on the racetrack. He is currently 25th. Frank Radowski, the number 39, he is currently 26th. Wild Bill, good to see old Wild Bill out there, the senior member of this community out there in the number 93. He is on the lead lap, 27th. Duke Sorensen is 28th. He is 1 lap down. He's got some severe damage from that last caution flag. 29th is DJ Hinsky, and Manny Diaz is 30th. Those two drivers are going to be behind the wall. 28 drivers left on the racetrack, 27 on the lead lap. We are 40 laps in to this 125 lap. Great event here. The guys over at Hobo Racing, the Aero 88 Series run here on Tuesday night. Race number 4 of what is going to be a hot season. Find these guys at hoboracing.com. A awesome bunch of guys. Steve and Danny Rabito, the entire cast of characters over here at Hobo. As you can tell, this field alive and well. This league still doing strong. 30 cars taking the green flag tonight here at the Iowa Speedway. Blake McCandless, that is no small feat in this area, this community today. An awesome turnout. And so far for these guys through the first, 1/3 of this race, great racing all over this racetrack.
Absolutely, and as continue to watch battling, it looks like the best battle on the racetrack is up there for that 5th and 6th spot between Kevin Roy and the number 11 of Steve Grant as they come here off of turn number 4. It looks like Kevin Roy in that Pepsi machine able to dive it down to the bottom, complete the pass on the 11 of Steve Grant, but now you have Andre, the number 27 Molson Dry Chevrolet, right behind them as well. You got quite a battle here, a bunch of guys between 5th and really the 10th position, all going down here to turn number 3, full song, single file. I'm sure shaping up to what can be a great battle here, even if it's not up front. But again, I guess it's just something about me talking tonight. I just came back from an internet disconnection, but looks like the yellow flag is out yet again while I'm talking. So unfortunately, I guess I'm just bringing some bad luck on these guys tonight, huh, Phil?
Well, it sometimes happens to the best of us, but yeah, absolutely. Yellow flag does come out in the speedway again. Did see smoke, it looks like, through turns number 1 and 2. Not exactly sure where that all broke out, but there was a couple of cars all kind of sorted out in a gaggle over there, and looked like it was a blue car who might have got turned around over there. I'll let Joe go back and find the reason here for the replay, but believe this is the 3rd caution flag of the night, working now lap number 44. Joe Allen issues at turn number 1 and 2. I knew it was a blue car. Wasn't sure. It looked like it could have been the Lowe's machine of Austin LaPlante, but I can't confirm that. Am I correct with that? Show us on the Full Velocity Rewind.
Yes, sir, you are correct. For the 3rd time this evening, we are going to show our viewers a Full Velocity Rewind focused on the number 48 of Austin LaPlante, as well as I believe that is the 85 down there, that Gas Monkey garage looking machine of Ricky Bumbalo. Very nice looking design. Looks like Austin up here on the top side of the racetrack. The 85 slips up just a little bit, but Austin starts to come down. They make contact. Looks like Steve Rubino barely gets by in the 2. Then Rich Napick in the 6. Unfortunately, just nowhere for that number 6 machine to go. The 48 of Austin LaPlante spins down right over the front bumper of the 6. We'll rewind that one more time, slow that down just a little bit. Just nowhere for the 6 to go, unfortunately. So damage for both of those cars. Tough break for Austin LaPlante in the 48 here tonight, guys. So far, he is. I've seen that race car spun around in the wrong direction twice. Now, it wasn't the cause of the first caution. He was more of a secondary incident that happened down the front straightaway, but definitely going to be the cause for our 3rd caution of the evening here over at Hobo Racing at the Iowa Speedway for the Iowa Speedway 125. So that is our 3rd caution tonight, guys. I'm going to throw it back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, well, we are on lap 46 right now of 125. We still have quite a bit of green flag racing that we've been able to see with some cautions mixed in between. So, Phil, I know it's a little bit early on in this broadcast, but I think we ought to go ahead and maybe see and try and pick. Who do you think are going to be some of the favorites that maybe in 20 or 30 laps we'll be calling them, perhaps the favorites to win this thing?
Well, if we're going to make a pick prediction to win this race early on in the going on lap 46, so not even halfway, so this is going to be bold for us all. I like the look of the point leader, the 73 of Herman Reese, a cagey veteran, guy who's been around this sim for a long time, knows how to find his way to victory lane. I think he's going to have the likes of a better race car. If this thing goes over a long green flag run, I think he's going to have that Cadillac pointed right up front, knows where it's got to be. If I got to make that pick, Blake, I pick Herman Reese to go to victory lane. Who do you got?
Well, actually, I don't know, Phil. I may be cheating here, but I think I'm going to save my pick and maybe see if we can get it in a little bit later in the broadcast. But right now, we're on lap 47 of 125 here at the Iowa Speedway. It looks like we are going to take a short break here. Please don't leave us right here on Facebook Live on the Full Velocity Network. We'll be right back from the Iowa Speedway.
When it comes to keeping up with maintenance on their homes, most homeowners overlook the heaviest moving object in the home, their garage door. At Apple Door Systems, we can not only fix your garage door, but we also offer our Gold Star annual maintenance plan to make sure it's operating properly and safely. This ensures that your garage door will last for years to come.
Call Apple Door today or visit us online at appledoor.com.
We're Apple Door Systems. Give your home a brand entrance.
All right, back here at the Iowa Speedway. Got to thank our friends at Apple Door Systems, Apple Garage Door. Great bunch of guys that always have the sponsorship over here at Hobo Racing done. Find those guys at appledoor.com. A great bunch of guys, great product there. Here's we turn our attention back to the Iowa Speedway. Jacob Simpson going to lead the field here to green flag, Blake. 48 laps going up on the board. The field into turn number 1 and 2. Give the lead to the 99. Cal Lovell is down the second spot. Herman Reese, he's got that Cadillac rolling up in that third position. But look at that race up front. Simpson is there. Lovell right there. He's going to try to make a run to the low side. 99 holding off that challenge off of turn 4.
Yeah, we'll see how the 99 is able to maintain, or if he's able to gain or perhaps lose a little bit of that lead over Lovell. Or actually, I believe Lovell, or he disappeared for a moment. He is back on screen now. But how about some guys that we haven't been talking about as much up here in the top 5? You have Herman Reese in the number 73 tracking down our leaders. You have the number 11 of Steve Grant, who has been working his way through the field as well. And how about Maverick? And even if you look up there, the 27 actually just made a move on Maverick to take away that 5th spot. Andre has definitely had a fast piece tonight. So while we see the same 2 guys out front, there's been a lot of kind of maneuvering throughout this field as we continue to shift. Even Fugate's up there in the 7th spot. So some guys are definitely looking, perhaps making some adjustments, trying to learn what this Iowa Speedway is doing over the short and long run. So these guys are starting to make adjustments, and we'll see if they can't start making some moves here on our leaders if they start to fall off here over the long run.
Yeah, and I got a couple of names you keep an eye on. I believe the 111 of Jeff Fugate, he may be a factor before this thing is out. He's got the 111 up to that 7th spot. Looking further back, we know Keith McLean's got a fast piece. He came in and took tires there, Blake. Looks like a little bit of hiccup on pit road has relegated him to restart outside the top 10. He is now cracking back to the top 10, so the 28 may come forward. Also, another name I want you guys to keep an eye on, the number 6 of Rich Knappich. He was one of the last cars to come to pit road, top off and put tires on this thing. I think that was a KG veteran move. I think Rich Knappich, he's going to have a really fine race car. I think he'll contend for a top 10 finish before this race is out. So there's a couple of guys maybe, Blake, to keep an eye on. I think for sure, keep an eye on Fugate for certain. Keep an eye on McLean working his way back to the field. But don't sleep on Rich Knappich, the number 6. If there's a guy who's going to put a show on and start driving through this field, I'll keep progress on that number 6 here. I know that 6 is always near and dear to Joe Allen, but I expect he'll be up to the front before no time either.
Well, we keep tabs on that. We have just had an exchange for the lead. You look out front, it is now Cal Lovell. He has regained the lead there from Jacob Simpson. Jacob Simpson not going to go away easily, though. He's going to look to get some momentum off of turn number 2. But how about Cal Lovell? He's finding the lead again. That UPS Ford back out front, and he's going to try to pull away from Simpson. And it looks like Herman Reese is also going to be challenging here shortly.
Yeah, Herman right there on the tire tracks, not thinking he's going to go up there and test these guys too much. I think he's just going to kind of keep toe with the leaders, let Cal and Jacob, maybe run their cars up a little bit. And I think if we get to a long, say, 50-lap run, I think that's when the 73 may come in and shine. So keep an eye on that as this gets stretched further on out. But, look at the run for Steve Grant in the 11. That Chevrolet up in the top 5, currently in the 4th spot. Don't get to talk about a guy like Steve here on Full Velocity nearly enough, having a solid run out there this evening. That is a really sweet-looking race car up in that 4th spot. And also Andre Mongeon. We don't see Andre enough here, the pride of Canada, Quebec City up there. Good to see Andre out on the racetrack, out at 27, that Molson Ice machine. He is currently up in the top 5, but he looks like he's got the 11 in his sights, Blake. You may see a race for 4th here in another lap and a half.
As I look through all the fastest laps up here in the top 5, it is actually that 27 car, the Molson Drive Chevrolet, that ran the fastest time last time around. It was a 23.767. Nobody else up here in the top 5 able to eclipse that 23 7/10 of a second mark. But I'm telling you what, these guys up here in the top 5, they're not really getting away from each other. These guys are running fairly competitive lap times. I think it's just really going to come down to who is set up for the short run, who is set up for the long run. But how about Steve Grant and the 27 able to hold their own with even Maverick and Fugate close behind?
Oh, absolutely. Maverick having a good run. That is Chris Rogers. He comes to us from Texas. The 23 having a great run out there. The 6th spot, Jeff Fugate right there. The 111. Usually see Fugate out there on the 9, so it's got to be a number change here in the offseason. Good to see him out there in the top 10. Keep an eye on Tom M., another new name to us here on Full Velocity. He's out there in car number 7. He's having a solid run out there, currently in that A spot. He's got 4 seconds to make up between himself and our current race leader, Cal Lovell. If you look out there, Blake, Cal has pulled out to about a 5 or 6 car length advantage. So thinking that Jacob Simpson had that really good short run car, maybe in the back of his mind, the light has gone off and said, maybe I don't want to go out there and drive the goodie off of this setup. I maybe just want to conserve my stuff and maybe be there over the course of a longer run. You think that's what the 99 is doing, or do you think maybe he made an adjustment when he came to pit road?
Oh, absolutely, Phil. If you look at the fastest lap set in this race by about 2 or 3 tenths of a second, Jacob Simpson running a 23.4, way faster than anybody else that's out here on this racetrack. Everybody else, their fastest laps are in that 23.7 range. So I'm sure that those first few laps, the 99 learned that this is a marathon. This is not a sprint to the finish. He's got to try to conserve his stuff and see how long he can make that Skull Ford last. But right now it looks like Cal Lovell is the guy that's tuned up here as he's starting to pull away just a little bit. But even Herman Reese is starting to make a little bit of ground up. He's looking to start challenging Simpson here, perhaps in these next 2 corners there for the 2nd spot.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see that. I'm telling you what, I've seen Herman Reese race on our airways for a long time. A guy that I follow for multiple years. I know he goes back all the way running in the old DMP league. So Herman's a guy, he's been out there with the best of the best. He knows how to get around these speedways, and I'm telling you, he's going to be a factor before this thing is out. But just as this run starts to settle in here and these guys get a little bit of tire wear built up, see how these setups are going to work their way out. We have caution flagging the racetrack for the 4th time toward just as we've hit the halfway marker here at the Iowa Speedway. Not exactly sure where this all kind of started out there. Looks like I saw some smoke headed down toward the turn 1 area, but we'll let Joe Allen go back there. He'll get the Full Velocity Rewind all set up for us. Joe, the best in the business when it comes out here to getting these replays out to us at an absolute fast and furious rate. And that's just a standard of excellence we have here on the Full Velocity Network, bringing you the ultimate esport experience. We call it here night after night. Thrilled to have you all aboard on Facebook Live. And for the 4th time here tonight, let's visit our buddy Joe Allen down in the control booth for our Full Velocity Rewind here. Show us what happened there, Joe.
Yes, sir, guys. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, one not very happy individual is this number 87, the white and blue and black machine of Everett Lentz. Comes down into turn 3 here. Looks like he making a charge at Ron Simpson in the 25. Ends up getting loose right in front of the 17. And right in the center of the corner there. Just very unfortunate. Nothing that Everett could do. He tries to get back into the throttle here in the middle of the corner to keep it off the fence. And I think, looks like right here, he's able to do so just barely. So, very nice save by the 87. I don't think he made any contact with the wall. That was very, very close. But a very fortunate and lucky break for Everett Lentz in that number 87 Xfinity mobile machine. He'll be able to come back down pit road under this caution here, throw 4 fresh tires back on it. He'll have to reset towards the end of the field and work his way up towards the front again. But, you know, to be able to do that and spin that thing in such an awkward position in the middle of turns 3 and 4 on these flat corners, not really banked too terribly much, so it's hard to really save a race car when it's spinning out of control like that and not make any contact, and luckily avoid some of the other guys that are out there on the racetrack as well. Not an easy task to do, Phil. So that's going to do it for our 4th caution here of the evening. This is another edition of Full Velocity Rewind. Back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, Joe, and I think one thing I'm going to kind of play off of there, you know, obviously race car drivers have to be talented to handle their race cars and be able to drive, but I think one thing that's overlooked, and perhaps not a lot of people want it to be a good skill, but I think Landon Castle referred to it a few years ago in the Cup Series during a race. You have to know how to spin out a race car, as I guess he was telling Danica Patrick, spin out another race car. But, you know, it is a skill being able to spin out your car in the correct way sometimes when you just happen to lose it and there's really just nothing you can do. How about the 87 there being able to keep it off the wall, locking it down, but also if you go back and watch that replay, being able to hit the throttle right at the correct time and spin it out to where the car doesn't hit the wall. So I always know it's a talent to be able to get around here as fast as you can when it's loose or you're conserving tires and whatnot. But I've also have a lot of respect for guys that are able to, I guess, wreck their car in a correct way, if that's the right way of putting it. And a good job there by the 87. Although he did spin out, he was able to not bend up any of the fenders, and he'll keep going here as we move along.
Yeah, and Everett, one of those great guys. No, he's been very loyal to us here on Full Velocity Network. A really great guy coming to us from Minnesota. And as you said, Blake, sometimes wrecking that race car, knowing it's going to get away from you, that's a skill in its own right to keep it off the wall. And maybe I can catch up with Everett one of these days. Maybe he can teach me the skill of how to effectively wreck your race car, as I currently seem to not have a handle on that whatsoever. But here at the Iowa Speedway, now just past the halfway mark here with our friends at Hobo Racing. Great bunch of guys, and hope you guys are enjoying the show. Coming out on Facebook Live here the first time with the guys at Hobo. Thrilled you guys have all tuned in. You like what you're seeing, what you're hearing, how we're presenting this show? Want to get your league live on Full Velocity? Head over to our website, fullvelocitynetwork.com. And I tell you what, we are just absolutely thrilled to be out here this evening. If you guys like to be a part of what we call the ultimate esport experience, no league too big or too small, no sim is off limits. We're out here tonight at our 2003. Our broadcast partners, David Schildhouse, Brody Hanna, and Todd Stanton, are over doing some iRacing here tonight, live on the other dual stream out there. Those guys having a fantastic show over there as well with the UMP Modifieds at the Lanier Speedway, so keep an eye out for those links as well. But head over to fullvelocitynetwork.com. Book your date now. We're taking dates all the way until the summer months of 2018. So we'd love to come over and showcase your league just like we're doing here at Hobo this evening here, Blake. And we got Green Flag Racing back on the Speedway.
We do. Cal Lovall looks to be gaining a little bit of a lead. But how about Herman Reese and Andre after that last round of pit stops? They're able to move up into the second and third position. Like you said, Herman Reese just biding his time, making sure he's in the right place at the right time. He overshoots turn one a little bit right there, but he is definitely on the march forward here as we are past the halfway point here. Lap 69 of 125 going on the board right now. But even Maverick moving up in that fourth position, Steve Grant in fifth. Again, a lot of these guys that have just been patiently working their way through the field, trying to see if they can make something happen and chase down Cal Lovall.
Yeah, he said the comers and goers here have come on and off pit road. You know, Keith McLean, he led a laps early. He come to pit road. Jacob Simpson pitted here on this most recent caution flag. He had to restart, deep in the field. He'll restart 19th here coming to the restart now on lap number 70. But looking at the comers and the goers up front, I really like the look of the way of that number 111 car there. That Jeff Fugate machine there, Blake. Now up to the sixth spot. I think before too long, we may see that triple one up there contending for the lead.
Yeah, the New York racing team machine, the 111 has got going on here. He's definitely just, again, doing all he's really been asked of him. But again, caution flag is out. Lap 71 of 125 has been put on the boards. And I believe if you look in turn number one, you can see smoke there coming up from the track. It looks like perhaps Wild Bill may even be involved in this one, as another run is being shortened by somebody losing it on the speedway back in the field. So we're going to bunch them back up again, and caution flag is back out. Joe Allen is ready with your replay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. Blake, you called it just right. We're going to focus on that white and baby blue machine of the 93 of Wild Bill. Very unfortunate break for him. The oldest sim racer here at the Hobo Racing League. Been around for a very long time. Very, special place in the hearts of the Hobo guys for Wild Bill here. Unfortunate break for him going down into turns 1 and 2 here in that number 93 machine. Spins right down in front of that number 59 machine. Doesn't look like he makes any contact there. See if he can keep it out of the wall. Looks like just a little bit of contact with the right rear. Maybe not too much to be concerned about for Wild Bill. He'll be able to take that thing down pit road. Put some 4 fresh Goodyear tires on it to make up for the spin. Maybe crinkle out a little bit of the damage in the right rear quarter panel. Get himself back out there and continue to ride around. Wild Bill, not a guy to go and park early for these events. He may not always be in contention to win these races, but he does always go out there and give it everything he has. And he'll ride around and just has the pride to go out there and be able to do this each and every night with these guys over here at Hobo Racing. Back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, Joe. So we ride around under the caution flag here. And tough to see Wild Bill all tore up here at the Hobo Racing League. But as Joe says, a senior member of the NR2-on-3 community, the senior member of Hobo Racing. And as we always do here at Hobo, anytime we come, we have a great tribute piece to our old friend Wild Bill that was made about 3 or 4 years ago. And we're going to pause for a brief break to give you some of the history here and pay tribute to our old friend out there, the 93 of Wild Bill.
In 1992, when Bill Satzler retired from the railroad industry, his grandkids bought him a computer. First thing he said was, "I'll never touch it." That was until they got him NASCAR 1 and a Thrustmaster wheel, and now a day doesn't go by that he isn't racing. Now he goes by Wild Bill online, and he resides in Lewistown, Pennsylvania. Bill just had a birthday back on March 3rd, as a matter of fact, his 78th. Probably makes Bill one of the oldest racers online. Bill's been into racing for a long time, as you can see from these pictures with him and his brothers. They won numerous track championships in these karts, as a matter of fact. Bill was also the owner of both of these micro sprint cars, and Randy, in the number 5, won several championships. Since 1994, Bill has been able to do his racing from the comfort of his home. He's still currently racing in a couple of NASCAR 2003 leagues, one of them at Hobo Racing. Matter of fact, he just got a second at Martinsville, of all places. He's been racing non-stop since he hooked up that Thrustmaster and loaded up NASCAR 1. Every car Wild Bill runs has Claudette's name on the rear as his motor sponsor. She's his wife of 55 years.
All right, back at the Iowa Speedway, and every time I see that commercial, our friend Wild Bill, I just get chills from head to toe. Great to see him back on the Speedway with us. Know he was battling some ill health here for a while, but anytime we get to see him with 93, maybe not the spry chicken up there contending for wins like he used to back in the day, but so really good to see him out on the racetrack out here tonight. Wild Bill back there on the lead lap, currently at 27, so he's got a lot of laps here left to go to maybe make something out of a good finish. But Blake McCandless, we're getting ready for a restart up here, and the list of players up front, it is kind of begins to change a little bit more as this run goes on, but it's still Cal Lovell and Herman Reese, our top two, as we get ready for the restart.
Yeah, these guys are starting to be the, I guess, the cream that rises to the top here as we continue to move on. We're going to put what looks like about 50 laps to go, but one thing I got to mention is I'm surprised is that the 28 of Keith McLean hasn't made his way back up to the front. He's been mired in the back a little bit, just not really sure what's gone awry on that 28 machine. Perhaps maybe that traffic in front of him just not playing in his favor, but he's back there in 8th position. Thought we'd see him move up just a little bit quicker.
I thought we would too, but we'll have to keep an eye on that here tonight. I know the pit window for these guys on a full fresh tank of tires was about 53 to 57 laps, so based on caution laps, that may grow a little bit here. So thinking the guys who may have stopped at that last pit stop could be guys that maybe, see take a shot and make it here on that last pit stop and see if we can't make the run to the end, kind of like the likes of, say, the 99 of Jacob Simpson. Even Steve Rubino, the 21, he's also been on the pit road here recently, as is Everett Linds, Rich Knappich, Roger Nebelsick. All those guys came down on this most recent stop. So we'll see how these guys play out over the course of this run. But knowing these guys up front, Blake, those guys that just came in may make it from here as far as gas and tire goes. The word is up front, these guys will certainly be short on fuel. Going to see, tire wear at Iowa, always one of those key factors that play into it as well. So have to see if this thing stays green for a little while. Have these guys fare up front like Cal, like Harmon, say Andre, Maverick, Steve Grant, your current top 5, versus those guys who may be currently outside the top 15 who have those fresher tires and starting to move back through the field.
Well, we'll see what those couple of laps are. We saw quite a little bit of tire fall off as we start to go on. Again, Iowa, pretty rough track. Obviously, it's a short track, and you're having to work the car a lot here in these corners. Not the most amount of grip out here, a little bit more, I guess, because it is a night version of the Speedway. But you're definitely working those tires pretty hard. So even the couple laps that we put there under the green flag, some of these guys may have quite an advantage here as we move forward, especially if this is a long run here. They'll probably have a large benefit here, these guys that are back here in the back. We'll see if they can't work their way up to the front. Guys like Jacob Simpson that we saw up front all night long, he's back now in the 13th position. We'll see if guys like him that came down on that last pit stop, if they can't work their way up to the front.
Yeah, but seeing these guys, on these older tires now that are up front, Blake, these guys starting to kind of slide around, if you will. Nobody kind of taking the chance of maybe overdriving the race car out there. And, it's one of those things I think we're going to keep an eye on over the course of this long run, is just how these guys all kind of play out and see how it goes. One guy definitely not, saving his stuff whatsoever. The number 12 of Cal Lovell. He is driven away from his field. He's got a 12-car length advantage to hit the start-finish line. 82 laps of 125 going up on the board. So 2/3 the way home. Cal Lovell a 1.1 second advantage, but you can see that on the racetrack. Call that about 12, maybe even close to 15 car lengths now as he hits turn 3.
Yeah, that number 12 machine is definitely dialed up very, very well. He continues to keep putting distance between him and the 73 of Herman Reese as, again, another lap goes on the board. Another lap that Laval will pull away just slightly there from the 73 of Reese. He just definitely has a fast piece. There's really nothing else you could say about it. He's been up front all day long, so we'll see if he can't continue to run up front there and maybe make this a little bit bigger of a gap.
Good battle going on further back here. Blake is there racing for 4th spot. Chris Rodgers, old Maverick at 23. He has swung to the inside lane. He's put the position away on the 11 of Steve Grant. So the 23 starting to move his way forward. He's going to have Andre Mongeon in his sights as Andre starts to slide back in the number 27. The 23 of Maverick there, Blake, looks to be on the move. He's been one of the better cars all night long. Maybe start contending for the lead. But as we say that, with a 6-time caution flag on the speedway, we'll let Blake not take that caution this time. I'll claim one here for the evening. 6 caution flag of the night coming out on lap number 85. So just outside of 40 laps to go for these guys. The Iowa Night 125 for our friends over at the Hobo Racing League. Once again there, Blake, just one of those things under the caution, the short green flag runs. These setups kind of tend to get a little bit loose on cold tires, and right away we go back under the caution flag. But just like a sonic boom, as we always do, Joe Allen is ready with another full velocity rewind.
Yes, sir, guys. Unfortunately, for the second time this evening, we're going to focus on Wild Bill in that number 93. It looks like as he dives it down into turns 1 and 3 here, he gets up out of the groove just a little bit, takes a little bit of a angled entry into turn 1 here, stays up in the middle groove, doesn't quite get down to the bottom where he needs to be, stays up in the slick stuff, and ends up looping that number 93 machine around. Very unfortunate for Wild Bill. Looks like, I believe that is the number 39 machine coming up. That's Frank Radosti, I believe is how you pronounce it. I apologize if that's incorrect, Frank, but nearly avoids that wreck with the 93 of Wild Bill. Wild Bill, again, looks like he keeps it off the wall once more, so he'll be able to put 2 fresh tires back on that thing. But tough break for Wild Bill, just out there riding around, trying to mind his own P's and Q's, just running into a few incidents here this evening. That's caution number 2 on that number 93. And this is, I believe, the 6th edition of a Full Velocity Rewind. Back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, it looks like the race off of pit road getting done here under the caution flag. Looks like much of the same as we look out front. It looks like Cal Lovell going to resume that lead. Herman Reese is going to be in the 2nd spot, but how about Steve Grant perhaps using a little bit of tire strategy? He's going to move up there to 3rd. Maverick will maintain the 4th spot, and then Fugate, again, moving up to 5th. So, again, guys are just slowly moving their way up through the field. It's exciting, and I just don't know if we can get a long enough run to see if guys can go up there and perhaps pass Cal Lovell. We haven't really seen a 20 or 30, 40 lap run here to see and gauge how these guys really are on the short run versus the long run, but definitely going to be interesting to see here how Herman Reese and Cal Lovell manage it here as we're on lap 87 of 125, so already under 40 laps to go.
Absolutely. And normally under the caution flag, we would try to grab one of these guys, bring them in, get a couple of words with them, and let them talk about their night. But it's a short track race out here, a big full field here tonight. 30 drivers took the green flag. There's still 27 left on the racetrack. So the last thing I want to do is disturb these guys, maybe have them get caught out of line or restart and get them an unnecessary penalty. So we're going to let these guys concentrate on what they do best. That's going out there and drive, putting on a great show for our fans, a great show for the league, and awesome to have all you guys out there tuning in on Facebook Live here tonight. Hope you're enjoying the show. Hope you guys have enjoyed the great dual stream for us here tonight of Full Velocity Network. Of course, Blake, Joe, myself over here tonight, and our friends at Hobo Racing. Our buddy Todd Stanton back on the controls here tonight. He's got David Schildhouse and Brody Hanna over at our friends at Big Show Promotions, a big live stream event for us here, dual streaming, and just shows the quality and the strength of the Full Velocity Network, the talent we have amassed. So proud to just call myself a member of this group of guys. We are just certainly the top of the top here, and I certainly believe the new revolution of broadcasting is here. A live dual stream for us, 2 great broadcasts going on, and just so thankful for all our viewership and all the support you guys have given us on the Full Velocity Network. If you have not given us a like, a share, or whatever on Facebook Live, feel free to do that now. Get our links out there to everybody out there. Like our pages out there. Join our groups on Facebook. You have not done so yet, and we're enjoying this Facebook Live exclusive broadcast of Hobo Racing here. But Blake McCandless, 88 laps on the scoreboard, and we're back to Green Flag Racing.
Back to Green Flag Racing. How about a great restart for the number 11 and the 73 up there? Cal Laval not being able to pull away as they go down into turn number 1. A 3-car breakaway here at the front of the pack, with Maverick leading that second pack in the 4th spot. Looks like Herman Reese and Steve Grant going to try to chase down the number 12 of Cal Laval. Looks like Laval able to extend the lead here off of turn number 3 and turn 4. But, guys, these guys all the way from 5th about through 8th, they're all, and you can throw a blanket over these guys. They're all battling really hard. They're single file right now, but don't expect that for too long as these different tire strategies, different setups that we have continue to come into play.
Well, Blake, we talk about different strategies, different tire wear, different pit stop sequence, but with the way these caution flags have fallen, you can't imagine the tire temps have really taken a beating. So you see guys like Cal Laval, like Herman Reese, who may have those older tires. How much of a detriment is it going to be to these guys that have been out there on longer tires, knowing the heat cycles of the temperatures, the way they've gone down? Are these guys going to have any fall off whatsoever compared to the guys, say, like a Jacob Simpson, that guys that came in about 25, 30 laps ago?
Oh, there's going to be quite a difference. Again, the more laps you put on your tires, especially here at the Iowa Speedway, that's definitely going to negatively affect your wear. But also, as you look back through the field again, Keith McLean mired back there in the 7th position, a guy that we saw running up here in the top 3. You got to think their track position on them also matters quite a deal here. You see a lot of these guys kind of running the same lane up there in the middle, down to the bottom on corner exit. So it kind of also shows you that track position is what you're chasing here. Is now Herman Reese has better track position. He's running up there in the 2nd spot. So a lot of these guys in the back of the pack may have to make some aggressive moves on pit road to try and make up some ground here.
And I was just going to love on my buddy there, the number 51 of Roger Nebelsick, having a great run inside the top 10. He was currently 6th, but last time around, the 28 of Keith McLean, one of those guys that we saw was really strong through the opening laps. He pitted early. He got tires. He's made his way back through this traffic now, Blake. Keith McLean, the 28, he's made his way now back up to 6th, and he's got Jeff Fugate up ahead. 28 coming to the low side. They're going to race side by side for 5th as they head toward turn 1.
They're side by side. McLean tried to make the move last time they were in turn 1. Wasn't able to do it, but now he is down to the bottom. Looks like Jeff Fugate going to surrender that 5th spot there to Keith McLean. So as quick as I say that Keith McLean mired back there in traffic, that's not the case anymore. He's on the move. He's hugging that yellow line off the exit of turn 4. Little wiggle out of that 28. He's going to keep it going straight. But how about McLean? He's definitely chasing down the leaders here. Ran a 23.5 last time by, one of the quicker laps we've seen here all night. So that 28 is definitely on the march.
Yeah, and other car on the march there, Blake. The other car that was up there dominant early on, that Skull Ford, the number 99 of Jacob Simpson. We documented him about 30 laps ago, well outside the top 10. He's marched his way back into the top 10. He is currently now 8th. He is on the march. He's got Roger Nebelsick up ahead of him. Jeff Fugate there, the 99, back up to P8. He is on the march, looking for more off of turn 2.
Looking for more. He's definitely trying to make up as much ground as possible. As now it looks like, so look out front here, about an 8-car breakaway from the rest of the pack. Kevin Roy, quite a significant distance, about a 2.5-second margin between him and the 99 of Jacob Simpson. These front 8 cars are definitely hooked up, but right now Simpson looking to the bottom of that 51 Hardy's machine, trying to vie for that 7th spot off of turn number 2. He's going to keep the nose in there as they go into turn 3. Nebelsick going to surrender that 7th spot there to Simpson. So how about Simpson also making a march there towards the front? But, oh, it looks like he's going to get a little bit of a bump draft here from 51. Not sure how safe that is on this not completely straight front straightaway here at the Iowa Speedway. So, you know, I guess no harm, no foul there. It's Jacob Simpson moving up to the 7th spot. We got some cars up here on the march, and even Herman Race looks like he's trying to chase down our leader here as we come off of turn number 4.
Yeah, this is what I kind of love on that Hardy's machine of Roger Nebelsick there. You know, a guy who was out there on Facebook earlier on today as we plugged up this broadcast, you know, kind of giving me the business as well. So, Roger, out there, you surrendered that position faster than I'd hope you surrender a chicken biscuit there from Hardy's. And if you want to send a couple my way, buddy, I will certainly take them here. But, of course, Blake, that race going on up front now. Cal Lovell's tried to get away. But look at that number 73 of Herman Reese. My official pick to win this race about 60 laps ago when we did it. He's now up to that 2nd spot. But look at the run, the 28 of Keith McLean. He's now worked his way up to a top 3. So with a little less than 25 laps to go, the 28 back into this race there, Blake, as they're heading through turns 3 and 4.
Well, I'll tell you what, that 28 is driving hard. The last time I watched him there into turn number 3 and turn number 4, he's driving it hard, but we're going to have to come to that later. There's a battle for the lead, and it's a battle no more. Move Herman Reese, the 73 Cadillac, up to the top spot for the first time tonight with 23 laps to go. Lovell is going to fall in line right behind him, not make a move into turn number 3. So how about Herman Reese when it matters the most? Coming up to the front, and Keith McLean still running faster times. He's going to be up there before too long.
Yeah, and it's a Tuesday night for Herman Reese out there. That Cadillac has certainly got out there for a Sunday drive on a Tuesday evening. Put the 73 up to the lead for the first time tonight. Drop Cal Lovell and the number 12 back to that 2nd spot. But look at the guys on the march here. Keith McLean now up to 3rd. He's run a big interval down to just precious car lengths. He is right there, 2 car lengths away. Call it 1. It's going to be a battle for that 2nd spot, Blake, as they hit turn 1. That 28, he is on the move.
He's on the move. I can't imagine it'll be too long before he gets around Lovell. If he can stay on the track, don't want him blinking out anymore and ruining some of the great racing that we're seeing up here. The 28 going to dive it down to the bottom of turn 3. You can see he's able to kind of hook that bottom side a little bit more than the 12. But right now, as we say that, all this great racing, but now caution flag is back out on the speedway. So again, I take over the mic and I just got to wave the yellow flag almost myself here. As now we're on 21 laps to go on lap 105 of 125 here at Iowa. The caution flag plaguing us yet again here at Iowa.
Yeah, the field going to catch the Full Velocity Network semi-rig down the backstretch toward turn number 3 and looking toward pit road there, Blake. Looks like pit road open this time around. And look at the inside lane. Looks like all of our race leaders may come down. Look at Herman Reese there. Cal Lovell is there. Keith McLean, you know, Steve Grant, the 11, Maverick, Chris Rodders of the 23. All our race leaders all electing to come down the pit road with under 20 laps to go, maybe making these last adjustments and putting on 4 fresh tires. So we'll keep an eye on pit road, but let's go back and see what happened here. I believe this will be caution flag number 7 there, Joe. Show us what happened with the Full Velocity Rewind.
That is correct. 7th edition of Full Velocity Rewind here tonight at the Hobo Racing League. Once again, we're going to focus on the 87 of Everett Lentz as they come down into turn 1 here. It looks like he overshoots the corner just a little bit, tries to make a little bit of a correction underneath the 108 there. That's the dog, John Palmer, and Everett loses it right in the middle lane there. Very unfortunate for him, right in front of the 59 of Duke Sorensen once again. Duke pulls that thing down to the bottom. Everett stays in the gas, spins that thing midway through the corner, and looks like he's able to save it off the wall once again. I know we do have more traffic coming up. That is the 2 right there running in the back of Rich Fenke. Looks like Rich, barely makes contact with the 87, spins that thing back around in the right direction. There's the 8 going around that, the 37. There's the 39 running in the back as well of Frank Radosti. He barely gets around that accident. So Everett looks like he just about had that thing saved and didn't take any damage there, but definitely took a little bit of a hit there from, I believe, the 2 car there. Very unfortunate break for Everett in the number 87. He'll get that thing turned back around. But guys, I know you were talking a little bit earlier before we got to the 7th edition of a Full Velocity Rewind. All the leaders came down pit road. I'm going to throw it back up to you guys in the booth. Go ahead and give us a full field rundown after these leaders came in for what should hopefully be their last round of pit stops here this evening.
Yeah, we'll take care of that here in just a couple of seconds here, Joe. But under the caution flag, looks like the 87 may have been involved in a second incident of the night. And Everett Lentz, a guy who was out there in our Facebook Live chat all night long, and Now I see Everett has pulled himself behind the wall. So let's catch up with the driver of the 87. Our good buddy Everett Lynch, tell me, did texting and driving finally catch up with you? Is that what put that 87 out there in two different versions of a spin cycle here this evening?
No, it just looks like a bonehead move. I got a run on the dog there, went inside, and when I seen I wasn't going to make the corner, I backed off and just had a little bit too much brake in it, and it snapped me around.
Well, as a guy who's pretty much been mid-pack all night long, I mean, 30 cars at Iowa, it is no small feat in this day and age of this community. Tell us out there what the racing was like out there around all that traffic. It certainly looks like it's a lot of fun up here in the booth, but out there as a racer out there behind the wheel, tell us what it looks like out there on the racetrack, because that looks to be awesome out there.
It's pretty fun. My car just wasn't up to par tonight. I wish I had a little bit better setup. Had a lot of stuff going on this week, so I haven't been able to practice and test as much as I wanted to. So I was just trying to make do with what I had, and like I said, eventually it just caught up to me. Great group here at Hobo. Steve and Dan put on an awesome show, and very appreciative of it. From day one, I've been here for 5 or 6 years now, and racing's just gotten that much better.
I couldn't agree more. Well, Everett, my friend, as always, good to catch up with you. We're going to get ready for a restart here, but thanks for being such a loyal supporter here in the Full Velocity Network, and we'll be talking to you again here real soon there, buddy. Thank you for a couple of words, and sorry to see your evening ended so early.
Oh, thank you very much, man. You guys do a great job. Appreciate it, and look forward to working with you again.
All right, as we say that, we're going to let Everett go there. The green flag is out here. So, but a little bit of interesting strategy going on, the 28 and the 99 on 2 tires. That's going to make Keith McLean really loose. Probably those old tires not working out there, as now that's going to move the 99 down to the bottom. Also took 2 tires, 2 right sides on that Skull machine as we are on lap 1. Oh, Kevin McLean is out in the outside wall again. He lost it off at turn number 3, a hard lick into the outside wall. He's going to keep it going straight, but you got to imagine that 28 is a handful right now. He's loose. He's got damage. Looks like he's gonna find himself in the 11th spot. But we move back up front here. Laval's gonna try and challenge for that lead on those 4 fresher tires that he has, and Herman Reese is not far behind.
No, absolutely not. But man, look at just the pounding that 28 took there. I just got to see it here on the live stream go by, and that machine has to be absolutely wrecked. But short run here, Blake. New tires, old tires. Throw that out the window, because we're once again under the caution flag now for the 8th time tonight. 111 laps up on the board of 125 that make up the 4th race of the season here for the Hobo Racing Aero 88 series here, done at Tuesday nights over the winter time. And hats off to Steve and Dino, Dan Rubino here for taking the time, putting this series on through the winter months, and a fantastic turnout tonight here. Been slowed now, Joe, by 8 caution flags. Show us what happened here. Put us on to the latest.
Yes, sir, guys. Full Velocity Rewind number 8 tonight. Unfortunately, guy that's been running the top 5 all night, the number 11 of Steve Grant. Just some trouble off of turn 4 here. Looks like he makes a little bit of contact with the 111 of Jeff Fugate. That sends him up into the outside retaining wall here. Rewind that one more time. Get one more slow motion look at that. Just the slightest bit of contact there is going to send him up into the wall, spin right in front of the number 77 of Kevin Roy, down into the infield grass, and I believe he may make just maybe not. I thought he made a little bit of contact with the inside wall. Looks like going through the grass here, he may be able to save it once it gets back onto the asphalt down there. I believe he does here, so just some damage to the right side of that machine from the initial contact with Jeff Fugate there, so very, very tough break for the 11 of Kevin Roy, guys. Was having a great run all night. Really didn't fall outside the top 10 for the majority of this evening, and was even up there challenging for the race lead early on in this event. So tough break for him as we're coming down to just almost under 10 or under 15 laps to go, I should say. Getting ready to click off, down to 10 laps to go, and just a couple more laps. Tough break for that 11 machine of Kevin Roy towards the end of this thing. Back up to you guys in the booth.
All right, back here at the Iowa Speedway now, caution flag number 8, and just throw the monkey wrench and all this strategy up here now. Jacob Simpson, our current race leader, on 2 tires. Cal Lovell, Herman Reese, the entire gang behind him on 4 fresh tires. So we'll see how this plays out. Did not fare too well there for Keith McLean over this last run. Hard contact, the outside wall says. As we get set for the restart, let's see if we can't do a quick full field rundown here as we're approaching the dozen laps to go marker of this race. It's the 99 of Jacob Simpson up front. Cal Lovell is second. Herman Reese is third of the 73. Chris Rogers, the old Maverick, up there in fourth. Jeff Fugate, the 111, he is fifth. 6 through 10, we find Kevin Roy, Roger Nebelsick, Tom M., Steve Grant, and Danny Rubino out there. Old Bino having a great run up there in the 10th spot. Steve Rubino was 11th. Old Pushrod Bob Becker is 12th. Rich Knappick is 13th. Austin LaPlante 14th. Rob Keller currently 15th. 16 through 20, we find Ricky Bumbalo, Ron Simpson, the dog John Palmer, Rich Fenkel, and old Duke Sorensen. He's got the 59 out there currently in the 20th spot. Ryan Johnson is 21st. Rob Heath is 22nd. Frank Radowski is 23rd. Brandon Bonafora is 24th, and it's Keith McClain now. He's going to ride all the way back from 25th there. Had to come in and repair that damage. 5 drivers out of the event. The 87 of Everett Litz, the 27 of Andre Monjone, the 93 of Wild Bill, DJ Hinsky in the 14, and Manny Diaz in the 710. 30 cars took the green flag here just over an hour ago, and we are now down to 25 on the racetrack, all on the lead lap, all with a chance to maybe go up there and pull off the upset. Blake McCandless, we are coming to the restart here now with 10 laps remaining. Who do you think this restart's going to benefit? Is it that 2-tire stop up front for the 99, or do you take the field, say, like a Herman Reese, like a Cal Lovell behind him?
I don't know. I think you got to look at what happened there to McLean there on that restart. 2 tires did not work out for him. I know we've seen him loose up front here all night, but I just got to think that those 2 tires are also not going to work out for the 99 of Simpson, who's also gambling on that strategy. I just got to think that perhaps it's a little bit too loose, but you know, we'll take what we can get, and obviously Laval has a fast piece under him tonight, and we'll see as the pace car comes off. They're coming off here at turn number 4. We'll see how these guys fare out as Jacob Simpson in that Skull Machine going to lead him to the green flag. The green flag is out, and Laval is right behind him. He may even try on the high side here as they enter turn number 1. Move Laval up to the high side. He's going to stay neck and neck with them. Now the run goes to Simpson. Laval going to try to get a run here on the back straightaway. Look into turn number 3. He's not able to do it. So how about Simpson with under 10 laps to go? He's maintaining the lead. But don't forget Herman Reese. He's right behind.
And I like that spot. Herman is in sitting third, but here comes Cal Lovell, the 12. We haven't seen the outside line move all work all day long. Now a little bit of hip check, contact between the 99 of Simpson and the 12 of Lovell. Moved the 12 up the racetrack. He made a little bit of contact with the outside wall. I believe he was able to save that car, Blake, but now moved to 12 all the way now. Looks like he'll drop all the way back to about that 5th or 6th position. So that was good contact, good racing going on up front. Can Jacob Simpson drive away and pull off the victory? Is it going to be Herman Reese out there? Can Chris Rogers, the old Maverick running third, can he go to victory lane? We are 7 circuits away from finding out when the field is in turn number 3.
Also, you got to imagine, I know we've been talking a lot about these guys running up in the front of this field, but there are 20-some odd other drivers here who want a chance to go up here and win this race, and they're definitely not going to fall by the wayside and let it happen. But forget that right now. It looks like we have a battle for the lead brewing as Herman Reese going to get a run off of turn number 2. He's going to try to make it a race going into turn number 3. Not able to do it, but he is working that middle lane, diving it down to the bottom, trying to get a run as much as he can on the 99 of Simpson. He's going to pull up here off of turn number 4, but again, he's going to let it happen. He's putting the pressure on Simpson. He's saying, I'm right here. What are you going to do about it? Simpson, I'm sure, is mirror driving. His hands are shaking. He's sweaty. 5 laps to go here as they come around off of turn number 3, off of turn number 4. They're going to come to 5 to go here. Simpson and Reese are in a battle for the win.
Yeah, they certainly are, but I'm looking at that 73, Blake. He's going to move to the outside. I haven't seen the outside maneuver work all night long. If anybody can pull it off, it's Herman Reese, but you got to think if there's going to be a pass for the win, don't you think you got to make it to the low side? Herman may make that answer no. Is there going to be side-by-side to turn 3?
Yeah, he's loosening up that 99 on the bottom, trying to pinch him down there. These guys putting on incredibly hard but respectful show as Simpson almost slides up into Reese, but these guys are racing hard, racing clean. Not contact made yet, but it looks like that high side going to be able to work for the 73 of Herman Reese. Move him to the top spot, and I can't believe that it looks like the 99 not able to work Can't imagine he can get back up there with 2 tires. But how about Maverick? He's moving up in the 3rd spot here as we come to under 3 laps to go.
Yeah, do not count Chris Rogers running in that 23 in the 3rd spot out of this race whatsoever. Herman Reese going to slide up the racetrack off of turn number 2. Jacob Simpson trying to make something happen. Maybe that 2-tire pit stop going to kind of blow up in his face now as hit turn 3. Herman running the middle side of the racetrack. Jacob looking down low. He'll wash up. Chris Rogers is right there as well. Simpson making contact with the wall. Here comes Maverick to the inside. Side by side for second toward turn 1.
They make it side by side for second. I believe Maverick is going to have the desired line here as they come off at turn number 2. Move him to the 2nd spot. And how about Lovall? He's coming back. He wants a spot of the podium. He's going to move up to 3rd. Jacob Simpson, 1 to go, is not working out the 2-tire call, but the caution flag is out, and we're going to race back. That is going to end it, I believe. It looks like Herman Reese is going to take the white flag and the yellow flag, and I believe if he can just limp that 73 around here, he will take the checkered, as it looks like the 108 is parked up here sideways on his door.
Yeah, I saw the 108, I believe, roll by in the live stream. I believe that car may have been just kind of sitting on 2 wheels up there, so have to let Joe go out there and show the replay. Show us how the dog John Palmer maybe ended up on 2 wheels, but the field's going to work its way off of turn number 3 and 4, the checkered flag and the yellow flag that go out in the air. And I was the only one of the 3 guys that made a prediction here tonight, and my prediction's going to hold true. It is Herman Reese there, Blake, going to go to victory lane. Maverick going to end up second. Cal Lovell third. Roger Nebelsick, he brings the 51 home with a great run to that 4th spot. And Jeff Fugate in that triple one, the 111 comes home top 5. But Joe, I believe you're ready with a replay here before we move on to the post-race show.
Yes, sir, guys. We'll get a quick replay in to show how this race ended. It starts with the 28 of Keith McLean here. Looks like he went down probably under this last pit stop. Threw a bunch of tape on the nose of the 28 there, and looks like just a catastrophic engine failure going down into turn 1 here. You see a big puff of black cloud go up on that number 28 machine as they dive down into turn 1. We'll focus back now on the 108 of John Palmer, the dog Palmer, coming down through turns 1 and 2 here. As we see the 28 of Keith McLean starts spinning up the hill with that blown engine, makes huge contact with the 108 right through him, sends the dog up into the outside fence. Keith McLean's up. He gets himself up on 2 wheels, up on the door on the side of that thing, gets that thing back down on 4 wheels. But the dog, John Palmer in the 108, looks like he does a little bit of a skateboard grind across the outside retaining wall of the 108 there. And eventually that car will come sliding down the banking here and will come to a rest down on the inside, right down below that yellow line there. So that was the cause of our last caution here of the evening. Looks like Keith McLean there tried to put on some added grill tape probably to help with the handling and the speed in that machine, and overdid it just a little bit too much, and that thing went up in smoke. And John, the dog Palmer, unfortunately just an unfortunate bystander there, nowhere for that 108 machine to go as he comes to a rest down here on the bottom of the apron. But back up to you guys in the booth. That was caution number 9, but a very congratulations to Herman Reese, and we'll get ourselves right into the post-race show here right now.
Yeah, absolutely right. As we'll let Joe go down there and talk to our winner in victory lane, that old Oldsmobile of Herman Reese is going to pull him to victory lane. I'll see if I can't run down here and catch up with Chris Rogers with the number 23. The old Maverick, he's kind of an elusive guy. We'll see if we can't run him down before he escapes this place here tonight. But Blake, I'm going to throw it down to you. I believe you're going to catch up with our 3rd place finisher here tonight. That of course, the number 12 of Cal Lovell. So Blake, over to you, my buddy.
All right, I'm standing next here to the UPS Ford of Cal Lovell. A great run, ran up front all night, just not able to get it done there. How about that late strategy call that the 99 and I believe it was the, not the 99, the 28 there. What did you think of that move, and how did that kind of change things up for you as the night went on?
Well, in my opinion, you always take 4 because, especially at Iowa, since that's a tire year. I didn't think that was going to work, and it didn't. It didn't even last a lap. I don't know where Keith finished, but it didn't work.
And I believe that 28 of Keith McLean ended up finishing back there in the 24th spot looking down the grid, so definitely not a call that he had. But what did you think about your piece tonight? Obviously, you were very fast. You ran up front all day. Do you think you had it on the long run, or do you think the short run was your specialty, or What did these guys prepare for you tonight that seemed to work pretty well?
I feel like at the end, I was better in the short run, and Herman was better in the long run. I think that's how he won. Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, you ran great all night, a third place finish, so a lot of lead laps tonight for that 12-4 machine. Not where you wanted to end up. I'm sure you'd like to be there in victory lane, but nevertheless, a great showing here. I'm going to give the mic to you and thank whoever got you here for this third place run tonight.
I gotta like to thank Steve and Dan for running this league, and you guys for broadcasting the race so I can watch it later. So, yeah, thank you guys.
All right, well, thank you too. That's the driver of the number 12 UPS Ford finishing up in the third spot tonight. That's Cal Lovell. I believe we're going to try to reach out. I believe we may just go ahead and skip over. I believe Maverick possibly not able to talk to us, but I'm going to throw it down to Phil, who's trying to catch up with him anyway.
Yeah, I'm down here. See if we can't at least get some text communication with Chris Rogers, the old 23. That is Maverick out on the racetrack. Maverick, I'm not sure if you got a copy on us, able to speak with us or whatever, buddy, but congratulations on an awesome second place finish, man. That was good racing up front. Just one spot short. I really thought you had a chance for the win there, but you can hear us. You got a way of communicating, some text chat or whatever. You give us a quick message out there and tell us about your night there, bud. See if Maverick give us some text communication. He does say thanks to everybody out there. A terrific run for the 23. See if we can get any more from him out there. Wish we could hear the voice out there, but always good to acknowledge these guys that finish up on the podium. We'll see if we can't get any more from Maverick. Tell us about the run he had here tonight, and then we'll throw it over to victory lane here to our buddy Joe Allen, who will catch up with Herman Reese in victory lane. But Maverick, if that's all you got for us here tonight, thanks, guys, and appreciate you out there. Another message coming in. Herman had a good race here tonight and a nice win. I can't agree anymore. Well, Maverick, congratulations, buddy. A great second place finish. Wish we could talk to you here. Maybe someday we get that microphone worked out with you, and we'll get you here live on Full Velocity. Great job tonight, my friend. All right, with that being said, I'm going to throw this thing down to victory lane. I know Joe Allen's down there. There is going to be a party in victory lane. So, Joe, without further ado, let's throw it down to you there. I believe you've got Herman Reese ready. So, let's get him up here and fire away here. I'm sure he's going to be a happy race car driver.
Yes, sir, guys. Caught up down here with our race winner here tonight on the Full Velocity Network, the number 73 of Herman Reese. No unfamiliar situation for Herman, I should say. Herman, congratulations, buddy. It looked like you were stalking around in the top 5 for most of the evening, and once again, like we've seen you do multiple times over and over again here at Hobo and any of the other leagues that you've raced in, you somehow find a way to get yourself into victory lane. Tell us about your night, buddy. It looked like it was a fun and exciting one for sure.
Oh, thank you. It was a good race. I was getting a little frustrated with I was set up for the long run, and we just couldn't get. About the time I'd start getting towards the front again, the caution would come out, and that's just how they fell. So towards the end there, I'd made a decision I was just going to get a little more aggressive early on. Once we got inside the number, I was sorry to see that caution fall when we went green with like 60 laps ago, because I honestly thought I was probably one of maybe 2 people that could have made it on tires and fuel. But all in all, it was a good race. Some bad luck for some guys benefited me. I just got fortunate. I don't know if you saw how many times guys would go on pit road and have troubles, and I just picked spots up I didn't even have to work for.
Hey, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, Herman, and when it comes to being a race car driver, you'll take any lucky break that you can get when you're out there, whether it's on the racetrack or down there on pit road. And your pit crew did a flawless job tonight to continue to make up ground down there, and you come out and you get yourself another victory here on the Full Velocity Network. And just a tremendous showing as always. It's always a pleasure to come over here and do these shows and these races for all the guys at Hobo Racing. So, Herman, without further ado, you know the routine, you know the drill with the podium finishes here. I'm going to throw the microphone over to you. The floor is all yours, buddy. If you have anybody else you'd like to thank, any fans, any friends or family that may watch this back when it's archived on our Facebook page for the first time at Hobo Racing, the floor is all yours, buddy.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys, Full Velocity, for broadcasting, and to Dan and Bino for putting this Hobo League on for us. We have a lot of fun. I want to thank the other Hobo drivers. We had a great session last night where we all tested, and that's where most of us perfected our stuff. And it's just fun. This was a fun night. when they're like this, you get the cautions fall strategies to win it on outside pass. It was excellent. So appreciate everything you guys do and those guys, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure, like I said, Herman, to come over here. We have a long-standing history with Steve and Bino coming over here and doing this stuff for you guys. And it's a pleasure to catch up with you as well, another one of the staple name drivers over here at Hobo Racing. So once again, from all of us at the Full Velocity Network, congratulations on taking down yet another win here at the Iowa Speedway tonight, and look forward to coming out here and doing this with you guys again soon.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Not my normal number, but all in all, any way you get it.
Absolutely.
I got something for you, Herman, if you still got your ears on, buddy. I just want to make mention out there, Blake McCandless put me on the spot on lap 45, told me to pick a winner of this race. I was the only one of the three to make a prediction here at all tonight. I did it on lap 45, so think about that. I picked Herman Reese to go to victory lane. So, buddy, job well done, man. We got that black
I
cloud
appreciate
off us.
it.
Good job, brother.
That's a Cadillac power. You know, how could you resist the big chrome emblem on the hood?
I couldn't agree more. Well, awesome, buddy. Congratulations. Party up down there at victory lane. And I know we'll be back here at Hobo in a couple of weeks. Thank you again, buddy, for a couple of words.
Thank you.
That's
Appreciate
some
it,
fun right
guys.
there. All right. Herman Reese going into victory lane here tonight. He'll party down there in the trailer with Joe Allen. But what more can you say there, Blake? These guys at Hobo always deliver us a great race out here. And once again at Iowa tonight, these guys certainly live up to the billing. And great show. That was a lot of fun.
It certainly was. Again, you saw a lot of different strategies that came into play. We had a couple of yellow flags that some of these guys had, but also just what an impressive performance by all the guys here at Hobo. Again, like you've mentioned throughout the night, 30 drivers being able to come out here with open setups. It's just really an incredible show, and really got to shout out the other FVN guys that we have that just finished up. Tyler Walton just took the checkered flag and won the Liquid Nitro Beverages Weekly Racing Series, the season finale there. So got to give a shout out to those FVN guys and the fantastic job they did. And, you know, it's just always nice to come out here to Hobo Racing, a league that's professional on and off the track. And they definitely get the job done on the track. A lot of great racing tonight, a lot of different leaders that we saw, and really just a great product that these guys put on. It's no wonder that, you know, the viewership numbers here on Facebook Live are going up every time that we have Hobo Racing on here, because everybody's starting to love and tune in what they see here at night in and night out. And maybe those Air 88 cars decided to help a little bit going old school.
Oh, absolutely right. This mod is awesome. And we'll be back here in a couple of weeks here to Hobo Racing. We get another date on the docket almost past the first of the year. So keep an eye out through our website, fullvelocitynetwork.com. I know we got a bunch of work there, have races we got to add to our calendar. A lot of requests have come through the way and get us on the airwaves. And keep those requests coming, guys. Fill out those forms now. Get your submissions in now and get your league live here on the Full Velocity Network. So for my partners here tonight, Joe Allen, Blake McCandless, hats off to our other crew out there tonight, Todd Stanton, Brody Hanna, and the champ David Sheldhouse. My name is Phil Lacasse. Thank you out there to everybody who's tuned in tonight on Facebook Live to make this an ultra successful night here on the Full Velocity Network. We will see you next time. Take care, and you all have a happy holidays.